Hey guys, welcome back to Film Feature 43. Today we're going to talk about Caravan of Courage, an Ewok Adventure, which came out in the 1980s, which it's set between The Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. It's a little side story about the Ewoks. So if you're new to my channel, go ahead, think about hitting that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. We do different stuff like this all the time. If you're a returning viewer, welcome back, and let's get into it. So how I'm going to handle this movie is I'm going to do a breakdown. I'm going to go through it step by step, hit the highlights of the important things. If you've never seen it, there's going to be spoilers. So we start out this film, and it's kind of a scene straight out of The Evil Dead. If you've ever seen that movie, we're in the middle of this forest. It's fog infested, probably definitely haunted, and we see a crashed Land Cruiser and two parents looking for their kids, Cindel and Mace. No relation to Windu. The parents are then chased off by this Wookiee predator centaur-looking creature, and we cut to black. We then cut to this teddy bear with teeth. The effects in this, especially the makeup effects, definitely don't compare to the big budget Star Wars films. I guess you can't expect them to. But I mean, really, look at this thing. This is what they look like. I mean, that's terrifying, something that almost would give you nightmares. They don't speak English either, like most of the characters in Star Wars, and we know that from the original Star Wars films as well. But we don't have C-3PO this time to translate for us, so we have a narrator. And it's not just any narrator. They got Burl Ives to be the narrator. And if you don't know who Burl Ives is, I know you know his voice. He's the snowman from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. And he is the singer of the song Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I mean, that's a get right there. You got this kind of D-tier movie with someone like the legendary Burl Ives doing the narration. It's kind of crazy. That's probably where most of their budget went right there. Another thing I noticed too was when the Ewoks do talk in their language, their mouth doesn't move at all.
It's a fly. Choo, choo. Now watch me whip. Kill it. Now watch me nay-nay. Okay. Now watch me whip.
It's kind of off-putting. Even when they are saying things to the kids or to each other, their mouth stays completely still. So, again, odd makeup and special effects. The Ewoks find the kids, and Mace busts in and goes all Danny DeVito. And
anyway, I started blasting. Bang, bang.
He's shooting first, asking questions never, taking hostages, and really just being a little turd.
Get your ass off her!
Until he's taken out by these Muppets, and he's tied up, and he's taken back to their little home, where he almost demands food and medicine.
Do you guys have anything to eat?
And I'm thinking, if somebody broke into my house and started shooting all over the place, and I had to take them out and tie them up, I probably wouldn't be feeding them, but he thinks he's entitled to food. They go out and start looking for food, and this idiot sticks his hand in a tree hole and gets attacked by an Alaskan bullworm.
Help! Help!
He has to be saved by the Ewoks. And another thing that I noticed at this point in the movie is, for being a forest moon in a galaxy far, far away, they have a lot of Earth animals there. They have horses, they have foxes, they had ferrets and turtles and things that you wouldn't think that a forest moon would have. And I started thinking about that, and I guess the original Star Wars trilogy did the same thing. A galaxy far, far away isn't too much different than our own galaxy. Mace then sneaks his little sister out of the Ewok camp, out of the protection of the Ewoks, and promises that he is going to take care of her and protect her forever until they find their parents. And they're almost immediately attacked by a wonky stop-motion dinosaur warthog hybrid thing and have to be saved again by the Ewoks. I don't know if anybody's keeping score, but the Ewoks have saved this kid at least 3 times, if not more. I think he owes them a pretty big favor. Let's see if he repays them. The Ewoks then take the kids to their village shaman, who spins a giant dreidel that doubles as a crystal ball, and they see where their parents are at, and while this is all going on, the kids try to act.
That's Dad! Where is that? What is it? It looks like a monster or something real big!
The Ewoks then vow to help these kids get their parents back from Gorax, which is the really big, scary monster that we saw attack the parents in the beginning of the film. They're all given these special gifts, and Mace is given a stone.
It's a rock. A rock.
Oh, sorry, it's a rock, not a stone. So the plan is to create an Ewok Caravan of Courage. That's the name of the movie. Now I get it. They're creating a Caravan of Courage to go attack this Gorax. They even say that if they don't pick up more Ewoks on the way and give them these weapons that they have, that they won't be able to defeat the Gorax. I don't think they picked up too many more Ewoks on the way. There's a scene where Mace, not Windu's, poofed into this water, kind of an upside down type thing, where whatever you stick into the water gets mirrored back to you. By movie magic, his sister, who's 100 yards away, happens to see that he's no longer there and surmises that he's under the water. They end up saving him. They put the sister on a horse, and the horse takes off running. At this point, if you're the Ewoks, you gotta kind of be wondering if these kids are worth helping and saving, because every scene of the movie so far is them being in some kind of trouble. So an Ewok hops onto a horse and starts riding after the girl, and what I thought was odd about this scene was it's a human-sized Ewok on the horse. Whenever they pan out and show the horse carrying the girl being followed by the other horse, the Ewok that's on it is clearly a man in a costume. Which led me to the question, why do Ewoks use normal-sized horses to begin with? I mean, I know we see them using them again in the original trilogy, but you think that they would find a smaller animal to be able to ride, but clearly they don't have that available, so we get this odd scene of a clearly man in a bear suit riding after a little girl trapped on a horse. They settle down for the night, and we see Puke Skywalker, Fairy Nap, this little squeaky firefly fairy thing who eats tickles, which is an actual line in the movie. Then they go the next day, and they blast open the cave where the Gorax is supposed to be and their parents are. They enter into Pennywise's lair, and they're attacked by Halloween decoration, giant spiders coming down from the roof of the cave. It's supposed to be scary. The effects, again, are pretty bad, but that's what they, I guess, had to work with. They get into the Gorax cave, and we see the Gorax eating this just gigantic bone of some animal, probably an elephant shin or something like that. And that led me to the question, if the Gorax needs something that big to eat to sustain himself, why kidnap the tiny humans in the first place? Is that kind of a snack? I mean, they've literally been there for a couple weeks. He's clearly been either feeding or at least watering them to keep them alive, so I don't think he's actually going to eat them. I think they're his pets. He even has them in a giant bird cage. He just is a poor pet owner, I guess. Anyway, the fairy saves the day, distracts the Gorax by hitting him in the face, and there's another Ewok that stays back and ends up getting killed. Then they pull the old Imperial Walker thing from that really old movie, Empire Strikes Back, and they trip him. He falls into this never-ending pit, never to be seen again.
Careful. This is the moment when the supposedly dead killer comes back to life for one last scare.
Oh, never mind. Like Freddy and Jason before him, the Gorax is back for one last scare, but is ultimately defeated. We get a happy ending. there's a big feast, and everybody's back together. The families are happy, minus one Ewok that nobody seems to care about for some reason. There's no mourning period for that Ewok. And there's no boiled stormtroopers at this feast, like we saw in the original trilogy. There are no fun drums of the stormtrooper severed heads. They may actually have gone back and gathered up the Gorax and ate him. The Ewoks are pretty savage, actually. But that's the end of the movie. So as far as what I thought of the movie, clearly, if you watch 100 reviews, 95 of them are going to say, not the best film. It's obvious, it's kind of a C, D tier film. Special effects aren't going to win any awards. What's that? They won a Primetime Emmy for special effects? That can't be true. Huh. Would you look at that? They won a Primetime Emmy for special effects. Huh. Well, kind of. They tied. Four-way tie. And there were only 4 contestants. So, I guess participation trophy. Maybe it wasn't that good of a year for special effects on TV. Maybe Star Trek had an off year. I don't know. But they did end up winning a Primetime Emmy for special effects. There are sequels to this film. Mace and Cindel do come back. If that's something you want to see, maybe I can do a review on those and a breakdown on those in a later video. I put this one out now because Star Wars The Bad Batch is showing on Disney+. Kind of a continuation after the Clone Wars animated series. So if that's something you're into, go ahead and watch that. Overall, definitely not my favorite film I've ever watched. If you're into kind of campy 80s bad child acting and kind of odd special effects, or if you're really into Star Wars, maybe this is something you want to take a look at. It's kind of in the same vein as the holiday special. The holiday special, it's interesting. They kind of had the Wookiees doing their thing with no interpretation, where here they decided to go with a narrator. I guess they learned from their mistakes. Aside from Burl Ives, I didn't recognize anybody who was in this. I believe Warwick Davis did return to play Wicket, the Ewok from the original trilogy. So that's pretty cool, I guess. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. It is what it is. It's a film that you expect it to be going into it. So if you like my video, like I said, go ahead and leave a like, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.